Can we all hear me? Computer graphics are anything that can be displayed on the screen. Okay, I think the audio is perfect. Now let's take a step further. Except for text, all right, and sometimes when we say text, those alphabets you make it, and even as far as text is concerned, there's still some text that falls under graphics. Are we together? Now, and those texts that falls under graphics, they happen to be saved in a graphics format. Speaking about graphics, we have some commercial graphics programs. And when we say programs, we are talking about application softwares, the likes of Corel, Photoshop, all right, Corel, Photo Paint, any. I think I thought I switched this marker. Anything that can be displayed on the screen. There we have it. Computer graphics. And the likes of this computer graphics, all right, we have some commercial, all right, a lot of users, a lot of people uses it, okay, commercial graphics programs, the likes of Corel Draw, I think those are the general well-known one, aboard Photoshop, okay, the likes of Corel Draw, all right, Corel Draw, we have aboard Photoshop, okay, we also have the likes of aboard Adobe, all right, Adobe Illustrator, all right, Adobe Illustrator, okay. Now, and many there are basically two types of computer graphics. Please note that basically how many types? Just two, okay. There are basically two types of computer graphics, just two types, and these two types, okay, there are basically two types, basically two types of computer graphics, all right, and they are, we have the bitmapped and vector/structured. I think I should erase the board. Okay, so I think I should erase the board so we can have this properly. So we have bit mapped as very first one. Then we have vector slash vector, not vectors, structured. Now for the bitmap, we have bitmap graphic, all right, are images that are mapped on the monitor or screen. Okay, images marked on the monitor or screen. Okay, now the screen, we all know what is called the screen. All right, like the phone you use to stream this class as a screen. Now that screen you see on your palm, all right, that screen you're staring at on your palm, okay, is made up of tiny dots. Okay, screen made up of tiny dots. Could be in their millions, billions, all right, made up of, all right, when you get to a level that you zoom your phone, you realize that this image is actually made up of tiny dots. Now, these tiny dots is what we refer to as pixels. Are we together? Tiny dots is what we refer to as pixels. Now, these dots can display various colors depending on the type of computer hardware and software. Okay? Different colors, all right, depending, all right, on software slash hardware. Now, you can agree with me that images on screens differs. There's something we call resolution. I think we did that already in our retrospective class, one of our retrospective classes, where we talk about resolution. Resolution is about image or video quality. Even here on YouTube, we've seen whereby one of the students was like, okay, I can't see the board clearly, and I have to explain to the student that on the screen, tap the cog icon, takes you to your setting. From the setting, you locate image quality. Automatically, it's on 144p pixel, 144 pixel. So you need to improve, all right, you need to raise the bar from 144 pixel, which is the default. You have to increase it to about 250, 350, 720, 1080, thereabouts. But one thing you need to understand is that the better the quality, the higher data consumed. All right. Like I said, what am I trying to explain is that pictures, colors on screen differs based on resolution and based on the capacity. All right. You know, there's TVs that are HD and there are some that are not. There are some that are HD. There are some that are no. There are some that are HD. We have Ultra HD. We have 2K. We have 4K. All right. So those are levels of resolutions. All right. And the higher the resolution or the higher the software hardware, the better the picture and the image quality. All right. Thereabouts. So we have that as that. So let's take a step further. Something called RBG. All right. Using shades of red, green, and blue. Okay. Still on pixel. Okay. Pixels uses, okay, shades of red, green, and blue. This RGB. An image can display on screen by mapping different colors to the screen in different sequence. Very true. All right, that is what makes it interesting. So now, when we now talk about vector slash structure graphic, the vector graphics use objects created from mathematical formulas to present things like lines, curve, fields, thickness, etc. to create images. All right. So here we have pixels, but here we have objects from mathematical, okay, formulas. All right, to represent things like lines, curves, lines, curves, thickness, and so on. Okay, so we have that as that. Now, graphic formats. When we talk about formats, we're talking about more like the level, like more like how it appears, how the graphic appears. Graphic formats are distinguished by their file name extensions. File name extension. All right. By their file name extension, you can easily tell which graphics it is. All right. Or what is the resolution thereabouts. So under these graphics file extensions, the three main bitmap format graphics used on the internet. All right. Speaking of bitmap format graphics now, we have the like of .gif. Okay. Dot. A lot of us might not be paying attention to all this, but if you check the image on your phone, you might be surprised that you find something like this there. Okay. So we have that as that. Now let's take a step further. Now this GIF is an acronym for graphics interchange formats. All right, graphics interchange format. All right, graphic interchange format. We have that as that. We also have the likes of JPEG or JPG. All right, JPEG or JPG. All right, for JPEG, we have the Joint Photographic Expert Group. Okay, it's commonly used method of loosey compression of digital image. For people that uses graphics a lot, you find out that it's better to download images in JPEG than in PNG. There are different resolutions, all right, and they weigh different kilobytes. All right, they weigh differently. So we have that as that. All right. So now let's take a step. Let's take a step further. As we have, okay, as we have the next one. Now, as we have here, it says PNG. Okay. We also have the PNG. Now, when we say PNG, what are we referring to? As far as PNG is concerned, we are simply referring to the portable network graphics. Okay, we are simply referring to the portable network graphics. Now, this portable network graphic, all right, is a type of raster image file. Now, it's particularly popular file type with web designers because it can handle graphics with transparent or semi-transparent backgrounds. So like I said, there are benefits for having your images downloaded either in JPEG or in PNG. It's actually a small letter. Let's PNG dot PNG. So we have that as that. Okay, let's take a step further before we call it wrap here for tonight. Now there are other types like the .p.tiff and the likes. Okay, so we also have under sound, just like we just talked about. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you very much for that. Just like we just talked about. Okay, just like we talked about images, we also have for sounds as well. Okay, for sound we have MPEG, MPEG. All right, it has been possible to place audio content on websites without having the sound tiny and allow it to take extreme amounts of time to download, all thanks to MPEG. Okay, so we have that as that. So we also have animation. All right, with the advent of fast computer comes animation. All right, and when we talk about animations, we are talking about moving images. Okay, moving images, and we have the likes of G.gif, that's .igf animations on website. All right, we also have .mov, .mov, and the likes. So thank you very much, everyone. We're calling wrap here for today, and we're taking up from desktop publishing in our next class. Do have a wonderful evening, and bye for now. Okay, now just before we call it wrap for today, tomorrow, for those of us, we're starting our statistics class tomorrow, CIT206. All right, do well to look out for the link to the class in the group, and I'll be glad to have you join me. All right, come with your writing materials, with your calculators. It's going to worth the time. Do have a wonderful evening and good night. Good night, everyone. Bye for now.